Israel has launched airstrikes on a hospital compound in southern Gaza. The Hamas-run civil defense agency says at least 28 people have been killed and many others injured after multiple strikes on the European hospital in Khan Yunis. A second hospital there was also hit. The Israeli military says it was targeting a Hamas command and control center. A freelance journalist who was filming for the BBC at the hospital was injured and is receiving medical attention. This report from Fergal Keane contains distressing images.
They were waiting to evacuate sick children out of Gaza when the missiles struck. The Israelis allege the leader of Hamas was hiding in a command centre under the hospital. An injured child. Dozens are reported killed and wounded. A BBC colleague was carrying out an interview when the rockets landed. Here he tries to comfort children. In terror, they call out the prayer for the dead. Our colleague was wounded, but not seriously. For his safety, we're not revealing his name. Every day of this war, he's captured its cruelty. It was he who filmed the story of Sawar Ashur, 5 months old and acutely malnourished. Our cameraman saw her twice in the last few days. Just before he was caught in the rocket attack, he told me filming Sawar was one of the most painful things I've ever had to do. But today, some better news. Jordanian medics managed to get some milk formula to Mum Najwa. But Siwar's life is held by the most slender thread.
I wish she could receive the treatment she needs to recover fully. She's my first child, and as her mother, I'm deeply heartbroken for her. I truly hope someone can help save my daughter.
Some children have been evacuated here to neighbouring Jordan. In January, we filmed the arrival of Abdel Rahman and his mum Asma. For 4 months, they've lived in a place with food, a safe place. Today, when we visited Asma, she called her children and their grandmother back in Gaza. Here, the agonizing differences in the lives of one family.
The rockets are everywhere, firing over our heads. The food, life is very bad. There is no flour. The prices are very high.
I don't know what to say. I'm very grateful for my mom, for all she's doing for me. I wish I could return back to find them safe and in good health.
It is only through a mother's eyes, looking at her children trapped, hungry, in danger, that we can imagine why anyone would want to return to Gaza. Outside the blockade, there are talks about a ceasefire, talks about allowing aid. But for now, just talks. Fergal Keane, BBC News, Amman.
Our international editor, Jeremy Bowen, is here, and some stark warnings from the United Nations tonight.
Yes, Sophie, really stark warnings from Tom Fletcher, who's the former British diplomat who's now the UN Humanitarian Chief, and he used the word genocide. He said to the Security Council at New York, "For those killed and those whose voices are silenced, what more evidence do you need now? Will you act decisively to prevent genocide and ensure respect for international humanitarian law?" And he also said that Israel was deliberately and unashamedly imposing inhumane conditions on civilians in the occupied Palestinian territory. There is a growing chorus internationally and also among Israel's allies that they have gone too far at a time as well when they are preparing a new military offensive. President Macron of France has said that what Netanyahu has authorized is shameful, and has even mentioned that sanctions perhaps should be considered against Israel. Now, I've been talking to Philippe Lazzarini, who's the head of the UN agency that deals with Palestinian refugees. Now, Israel says that he is a liar and that his organization has been infiltrated by Hamas. But I felt it was important to talk to him for a number of reasons. First off, Britain deals, certainly the British government deals with him and funds his organization, which is the largest dealing with Palestinian refugees. They know a lot of what is going on. So therefore, I think it's important to speak to people like him. And this is what Mr. Lazzarini had to say, part of it. Let us speak about what's going on at the moment in Gaza. Israel has not allowed any humanitarian aid in now for, more than 2 months. How serious is the situation there for civilians?
Starvation is spreading. People are exhausted. People are hungry. And more now we can expect in the coming weeks, if no aid is coming in, that people will not just die because of the bombardment, but they will die because of the lack of food.
When people look back at what's been happening in the future, will they see actually a big international failure here?
I think in the coming years we will realize how wrong we have been, how on the wrong side of the history we have been. We have, under our watch, let a massive atrocity unfolding.
Would you include 7th of October in that?
I would definitely include also the 7th of October. The response also has been massive, has been disproportionate, basically almost leading to the annihilation of an entire population in their homeland. I mean, it's absolutely monstrous, especially in our countries where we have said never again.
Now, Israel has an idea to bring in some hubs distributing food and humanitarian aid right in the ruins of southern Gaza, protected by American private security. That has been condemned by the UN as something which, well, Tom Fletcher at the UN said it was a fig leaf for further violence and displacement, saying that it would not get aid to the people who needed it. And this is when Israel is preparing what Mr. Netanyahu, the Prime Minister, says is going to be an intense new offensive that will finally beat Hamas, an organization, incidentally, that militarily was broken a long time ago, and it's now an insurgency there. And the Israelis have also been talking about the voluntary emigration of Gazans. And Netanyahu himself has said that they are looking for states that might take those. Now, it's hardly voluntary when homes have been destroyed, tens of thousands have been killed, there's no food in the Gaza Strip. The implication is strongly that this would be forcible displacement, ethnic cleansing, which is another war crime.
Jeremy Byrne, our international editor, thank you.